Welcome to Homeacres' new herb garden. It's only been here for under 3 months and we have great progress, and not least from help with Jekka McVicar, who's also here to explain some of her plants. She supplied the plants for this garden, and the garden came about through an inspirational talk I was having in March with Kate Forrester, who's here as well, who's a chef, and she likes to cook with herbs a lot and use them a lot in her dishes, is aware of the understated value of herbs, and so that's one of the things that we want to get across in this video. This garden came about because in March, when Kate said, yeah, you need a herb garden here. I didn't have one, and we got herbs dotted around really, and having it all in one place has been fantastic actually, and lots more to discover yet. But we were having a wander around here, and in the new ground up there, thought about making a herb garden there. Actually, I'm really glad we didn't, because there's loads of bindweed there that would have been quite difficult to keep on top of. But this bit of ground happened to be empty at the time. It had a heap of topsoil on it we'd just spread, and we were just walking by, and both Kate and I looked at it and thought, oh, that could be really good. And so I put a stick in the middle, right where that rather failing bay tree is. We'll mention that later. And I took a string, drew a circle in the ground, and then 4 quadrants measured out, and it's like a medicine wheel, and put compost on those quadrants, a bit of wood chip and compost on the pathways, and there we have it, the basic layout. And put that on Instagram, the photo, it looked really nice, and who should respond but Jekka McVicar, and said, let me supply the plants for this herb garden. And so Jekka, over to you. Your wonderful plants, how do you raise them?
Well, I mean, first of all, whoa, this is amazing. I mean, when you planted them, we had frosts. It was really cold. Nothing could have moved, but I mean, just look at it. These are 2-litre pots, and they've just gone padoing. I mean, it is amazing what has just happened must be the last few weeks.
Yeah, and no dig really helped.
Yeah, I know. I'm all in favour of no dig, please. I mean, it is fantastic. You are the absolute. You prove without anything that this is. Because the soil...
and it's great for herbs, because I think often people think that herbs need poor soil. Is that true?
No, they don't need poor soil. They need good nutrient. I mean, you are harvesting them all the time to put in your meals. Yeah. So therefore, you want them to grow. Yeah. If they grow in the wild, yes, but they're only this high. So you don't get enough to crop. So you have to grow masses. But if you actually give them the nutrients they need, they will respond. They'll also flower, which then gives you masses of pollinators, which is then in turn very good for the vegetables. Yeah. So it's a win-win. I mean, how we grow them here is, I mean, they've got thyme, you've got sage, you've got oregano, you've got lavenders, you've got aelcost, you've got hyssop. All of these are grown from cuttings, and we take our cuttings ourselves. So they start off as cuttings, and that takes about 4 to 6 weeks at this time of year. They're then rooted, and then they're potted into a small 8-centimetre pot, which is what the garden centres tend to sell, but which doesn't transplant to the garden quite so well as a mature plant. We'll then grow it on to a litre pot, which garden centres again will sell, and then we then pot up to a 2-litre pot. Basically, things like those lavenders and the oreganos and the thymes, they are 2-year-old plants. So we are a true nursery. We nurse them for the customer then to grow them. And we're organic, we always have been. I'm no longer symboled, but I'm still adamantly organic. To cleanliness to me is paramount, because if we're taking cuttings, you want to keep everything clean and things like this. And of course, I don't want to transfer disease, and I don't want to have to intervene. And if I do, I'll use predators, and occasionally I'll use SB Invigorator, which is a soft soap. But that's how we grow, and it is all about nurture.
And just that one, that didn't come from you, I must say.
Don't worry.
But I was talking to another gardener about it. He said, yeah, it's too frosty here for it. It needs to be against a wall or something.
Yeah, it won't die, which is interesting. And you can prune it really hard back and it'll come off old wood. So you can get a bay tree like this, and you can cut it right down to that size, and it literally, will go on growing. But that I would move mainly because it's in the way.
Well, I just thought it'd make a nice feature.
If you want to get the garden, this thing's going to go big, and you'll have to sort of, how are you going to get past it? Anyway, so I would move it, and I'd move it to somewhere sheltered, so you're against the wall.
We've got a wall down there.
Oh, well, that'd be great. Yeah. Because also, where's your prevailing wind?
It's over there, actually.
So down there would be perfect then, because you won't get smashed on.
Yeah.
But you're the chef.
Yeah.
So how do you use them?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that it's a fantastic thing to be using like in every single dish, rather than just someone follows a recipe and they just use one thing, and to use multiple herbs at the same time, and to use them fresh at the end, rather than just cooking them. A lot of people just seem to use thyme and rosemary bay in the UK. I don't know, maybe as they tried like different types of foods that they might start using coriander and mint, and obviously like Ottolenghi started bringing in that.
He's been amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. But still, every day they don't have them in their garden as much, and then they're not going and taking them and making teas for them, and it's just not the culture of it, I don't think, over here as much.
But what excites me about herbs, and remember I've been in the industry over 40 years, is the fact that you don't have to have a big garden.
Yeah.
You can actually do it on your balcony. And if you think how many people don't have this beautiful space you've got here, and are confined to a balcony, you can grow these herbs, in your window box.
Yeah.
And then you can pick them and you can eat the flowers. I mean, the flowers of that, taste this.
Yeah.
I mean, just
so gorgeous.
They're just amazing. And they're nearly as strong, if not stronger.
Yeah.
Than the actual
leaf. That's a really pretty plant, a small leaf sage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are the uses of that different to the large leaf sage?
Well, I find that this is a much better scent. It's got a real fruit notes as well as mint. I mean, it's a member of the Lamiaceae family. Now, you know that plants are divided. sorry, here I go. Okay, plants are divided into families, just like, and they've all had the same traits. So if I was to say to you that mint, sage, and thyme, and savoury, and hyssop, and rosemary, they're all related. They're all first cousins. Now, if you look at a family of first cousins, I mean, your family will all have blue eyes, I guess.
No, but
well, hey ho. But all my family have quite big noses. But it is that thing. So, if I say to you, after flowering, cut back your thyme, cut back your sage.
So it's a general rule that makes it simpler.
Exactly, for that group of plants. And then same as rosemary, people don't cut it back after flowering.
No.
And then it gets woody.
Yeah,
and they
totally.
go, I can't use it anymore. But you can, you really can. And but you're talking about cooking.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing is, as you say, teas. Fantastic. You've got hyssop here. Hyssop is a bitter minty flavour.
Yeah.
Fantastic if you've got a cough or a cold. So not just in cooking, but it's also good for your health.
Absolutely.
Fennel batting away here like it's going out of fashion. Now the Roman in history, the Roman women, they used to lie down to eat, okay? So they suffered from mega indigestion.
You can imagine.
And they were very windy. This is why it's standing up. So you could actually eat the seeds.
Yeah, that's the seeds, isn't it, that you
seeds
mainly use.
And you can make a tea with it and eat the seeds. But the leaves chopped up again.
Just fresh,
with potatoes. See, I'm a child of the 50s, so my mum was my influence. She used herbs with everything to make food go further.
Yeah, that's it.
We were in food rationing. We had. If you think about it, we had powdered eggs, totally naff. Or pickled eggs, even worse.
Oh, I don't know. Quite like
she
those.
pickled them and I'm sorry. I'll never forget taking them out and all the shell dissolves. It's just gross. Anyway, but what she did with herbs was to make mashed potato become a total feast. You've got celery leaf over there. She used to chop it up, add that, and then make patties with it, and then fry it off.
Yeah, so delicious.
We do that. Potato cakes for lunch.
Yeah, we've done the exact same thing for lunch, weirdly.
But it's so simple.
Yeah, and it adds so much to it.
And that, if you think that is our wild celery. Now, with wars, did you know that every army that's marched off has taken its herbs with them? So the Romans, when they invaded us, they bought wagon loads of herbs. And that's what we've still got today. We've got, I thought I saw lovage somewhere. Lovage? Oh no, anyway, they bought us lovage, they bought us oregano, they bought us thyme, they bought us sage. Marco Polo bought us chives. But we, the UK, took celery leaf, which is a UK native, to India.
Oh.
Okay.
And now the seed of celery leaf is used in Indian cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So isn't it fascinating? I mean, the way how herbs can link people and flavour.
Traditional sort of semi-wild celery, isn't it? Which you pick and grows as a leaf rather than the big modern ones that make this big head.
That's that one.
Yeah. Cool.
So
and then what about the...
go on, sorry.
Well, I was just going to ask about ale cost. You know what's...
Oh, well, ale cost. I mean, have you smelt the leaf?
Well, I smelled it. I wasn't... Well, what do you do with it, though? I mean, what's your recommendation?
It's got a real minty flavour. Yeah. So this, if you're into beer making, if you go back in history, they drank ale. Right? Before hops came into this country, they drank ale.
Really?
Because...
Well, we could try that.
Yeah, exactly that. Because water was contaminated. So you couldn't drink water out the tap.
Right.
So everybody drank ale, which is a very weak form of beer, which it wasn't beer because it wasn't hops. Anyway, and it was this, but it was also known as Bible leaf, and it was put in Bibles, dried, so you could smell it to stop you feeling hungry in boring sermons.
Wow.
And
These are great anecdotes.
And it was also called ale cost, after the ale, but it was called customary, and it was used medicinally for all kinds of women's complaints. So, but the flavour of it is great. And again, if you're cooking rice, and get young leaves, don't use the old leaves. Always use the young on this because the tougher the leaf,
they're quite
the worse. But the young leaves, you can chop that up with rice, and it is really nice. A little bit of onion, saute the onion, chop that up, so you get this minty, slightly bitter flavour.
Lovely.
And bitter is something we've lost
exactly
in the diet, and bitter makes your mouth water.
Yeah, and that's the whole digestive system.
Exactly
going,
that.
isn't it? Yeah, exactly. We really need
so
that.
So a true aperitif would be bitter.
Yeah,
that's the
always.
bitters.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gets everything going. But so, is there any that you particularly love? Is there something that's your favourite that you like to use?
Well, you've got Jekka's thyme, obviously. I guess I use thyme a lot. Yeah. I use it in marinades. Yeah. I use it also just with roast vegetables. Yeah. I just throw in whatever I can get my hands on.
Do you do a mix a lot of the time? Yeah, same.
A lot. And that's sage. Yeah. That's sage.
And that's tomatoes. A woman's herb as well, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's also very good for treating Alzheimer's.
Right.
So definitely my age. You can, and if you do a stopover, because you're young, you might do a stopover at night. Actually, the cameraman might do a stopover at night. If you forget your toothbrush, right, all you can do is brush your teeth with this, and it stops gum disease. And it's fantastic for making your teeth white. It also clears your breath. Gargle for sore throats, amazing. But if you swallow it, don't worry, it's good for your brain.
Right, okay. Oh, that's brilliant.
I mean, that's the thing with a lot of these herbs, they've got a lot of the similar sort of qualities of how they are medicinally used as well.
Again, it's the same family. Yeah. Yeah, the LAMIACEAE family. You've got rosemary behind me. Yeah. And that is actually scientifically
That one there is a bit odd, and that's because we got a gap. I can't remember, the rabbits have been in here a lot.
So you put a salvia.
It is a salvia.
Scarlet lips or something?
Salvia jamensis royal bumble.
Really?
But it's a cutting item.
Fantastic.
Only in early spring. But I was just going to ask you, is there any culinary use for that? The flowers. Okay. I mean, it's just so pretty, isn't it?
It is.
Just flowers
I think I don't think you can. I mean, the leaves. I don't think add anything. I think you could eat them.
Okay. They don't have the same flavour.
I don't know. It's quite fruity. Well, yeah, I wonder if you could start off with a cordial, see what it's like.
Yeah, that's really fruity.
It's really, it's like like that horrible.
It's like watermelon. Yeah, it's like fake watermelon.
Or the chewing gum, that horrendous chewing gum. Yeah, that bubbly gum.
Gosh, that's really funny.
I went to a restaurant the other day for a very special occasion. Is that a lemon tagetes down there?
It's just dwarf marigold.
But it's not a lemon one.
No, not especially.
I've got to get you the lemon one. I've got to get you the lemon one.
Please, yeah.
Because they were literally taking the leaves off of this lemon marigold and adding it to the dish. It was I hadn't
So would the
even
leaves
thought
of that
it.
one be edible, do you think?
No, I think
Maybe.
might be. But you've got winter savoury over there. That, with beans, right, breaks the enzyme down around the outside of the bean, so it stops you having flatulence.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because like, is it asafoetida that does the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that is even better.
Yeah.
So it's winter savoury is perennial and summer savoury is annual, is
exactly
that right?
Exactly that.
Yeah. So that one will just carry on getting bigger. Do we cut it back at all?
Yeah, after flowering. It is first cousins with thyme.
Right. Cool.
Back to my good old family. That huge thing there is not comfrey, which some of you viewers might be thinking it is. This is one of my favourite herbs. It's Inula helenium, which is elecampane. Now, in history, in the Trojan War, they used to. This was the one herb they used for the horses to heal horses, which I found really fascinating. And
well, I haven't got any horses here, so what are we going to do with it?
It's a perennial sunflower. It'll flower up here. It's fantastic for birds, for finches and things. Charms of finches will come for the seeds and things like that. You've got basil mint. They're very good here, by the way. 10 out of 10. If you could get a close up, they've sunk the mint in the pot into the ground. Okay, and so therefore it won't spread. And then in the autumn they'll lift that, saw it in half, and have 2 for the price of 1, and make the roots go into the middle, and put the compost around it.
And these have been making delicious herb teas for the courses we run here.
Yeah. But this one, isn't this amazing? This is Swiss mint, and I just think the flavour of that is, and if you combine the two.
Why is it called Swiss mint? Does it come from the Alps or something?
I never know why. Why is that called basil mint?
Yeah, basil.
It's mentha ex piperata citrata F basil. It's a hybrid.
And that one is the chive. Is that behind the mint there?
That's from Siberia.
Yeah. So what's the history of that, or what do you do with it?
Well, that will flower after your ordinary chives. So you can eat the leaves, you can eat the flowers. The flowers are fantastic. Jacket potatoes, back to my potatoes again. Yeah. But also they're wonderful in a vinaigrette, so you can just throw it on top of the.
They're quite fleshy, aren't they, compared to normal chives, which are quite. Good,
but they're also totally hardy. I have a hunch that might be nodding onion, but I will wait to it might have the wrong label in by one of my great team. But that's why when I saw it, I got really excited, and I saw it said blue chives, and I thought, anyway, the mistakes happen even in the best of places.
Is that the same as the lazy man's onion, not the nodding?
Yeah, because we've got this one here.
This is lazy man's onion. This is from Egypt, and this is known as the walking stick onion, because when it hits the ground, it will root. This actual bulb here will root. And so you could, if you got bored, you can dig it up and have an onion. But you've got enough garlic, so you don't need to do that. But these make fantastic pickling onions.
I was going to say, so the bit you use is the onion developing on the top of the stem?
Yes, exactly.
Not that one at the base.
Not that.
But so you could divide that as well.
You could, but what I always do is I will pickle some of these and then let some of those root, so I have a double chance of getting through the winter.
Yeah, because you mean you could harvest them in the winter even as a small onion.
So and then here, this looks like Greek oregano.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
And this is fantastic. Again, mixed up with a bit of sour yogurt.
Yeah, so good. It's really kind of hot
flavour.
flavour.
Very hot flavour. Yeah. Really good with yogurt. Really good with yogurt. And you can see the bees working your thymes.
Aren't they?
Now, bees go to the Lamiaceae family more than any other plant. They're not collecting the nectar or the pollen. They're going to heal themselves. And this has been scientifically proven at Bristol University. And they had a young man doing a PhD in it, and it is fantastic. They will go there, and all bees, not just honeybees, all bees and all pollinating insects will go to the Lamiaceae. So what we need to get for you here to help you with bees and with pollinating is things like the calamantha, the little calamantha lessers and things like this. Again, great for you for teas, but fantastic for the bees.
Yeah.
And everyone's about bees, which is really good at last,
Right.
So everyone should have that, at least that in their garden.
So this is, I mean, I'm major in the Lamiaceae family, not just because of the culinary uses or the medicinal uses, but because they're the best plants for introducing biodiversity.
That's really good to know. Yeah. And then I was going to ask you about tarragon as well, because we got the French tarragon there.
It looks like someone's eaten it.
Yeah, that's the rabbits.
A bit destroyed.
It wasn't you.
No, it wasn't me. No, it wasn't. Unfortunately, I would love to have been me using it.
But does French tarragon normally survive in the soil? Because apparently it needs drainage and might get soggy.
Yeah.
Or cold.
But you're under a tree here, so you'll get dropped on anyway. I would lift that in winter.
Yeah.
Because I can grow it in my raised bed with no problem at all. And you could grow it in your tunnel because you can control the watering.
Right. Yeah, it'll get
We
too wet.
can't control nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't like wet feet.
Yeah, I mean, this is wet soil here. It's a heavy, silty soil, so
Yeah,
clearly
I'll definitely lift that one. And is that a
good.
creeping savoury or lemon savoury next door to it?
In front.
It's
In
creeping,
front.
I think.
It's creeping, yeah.
Yeah, creeping.
Yeah, you might have to lift that as well.
Okay. Oh, well, that's lifting corner then. That's
So
simple.
yeah, so that one's fine. But everything else is absolutely fine. Very hardy. And your licorice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Your licorice is doing so well.
Yeah, it was doing nothing for a long
Well,
time.
it's like not very amazing, but
Let me warn you.
what?
It'll be over there next year. You'll have it a bit here and a bit there.
How?
It'll love your damp soil.
How does
It'll
it
love your deep soil.
Oh, the root comes up.
It's a
It is a
rhizomous
root, yeah.
rampaging thing.
Oh, I didn't
And
know
for
that.
you,
Because that's what you use.
right, you dig up the root. You keep your mother plant.
Yeah.
You dig up the root and you slice.
It's
the
just amazing.
the sweetest and most
Yeah.
unbelievable flavour you've had.
I have it in every herbal tea nearly, just because it gives that finish.
but
that note.
but when you've had it fresh,
I bet.
you're
I
going
can't
to be
wait.
mine.
So you never use the leaf or anything, just the root?
Yep, just the root. And the flower is it's pea family.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
lovely.
But with that, it's only still very small. Is that going to be big enough to power lots of roots by the end of the summer, say?
Maybe it'll be a year after.
Okay, so just leave it alone for now.
Everything, you see, this is why I'm gobsmacked that this has grown so much so quickly, because I'm so used to being patient. You know, if you think it takes me 2 years plus to sell a plant.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So that I've learnt, my plants have taught me patience.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've taught me that when you think something is dead, it not necessarily is.
It's quite different to growing lettuce, actually.
Yeah, well, you
Well,
had
I'll
Rabbit. Peter Rabbit grew the lettuce, didn't he? Or ate it, rather. Yeah, it makes you sleepy.
But I am excited by this. You know, I think it has, well, no, it's helped having really strong plants at the beginning, giving them the right thing with the soil, which, as you say, is enough fertility, actually. It wants to be good.
But the fact is that being a 2-year-old plant, they're on the way to grow.
Yeah.
If you grow them the size that we've taken them from a cutting into an 8K, which is a small pot.
But for anyone planting in the summer, also they'd need to keep watering, wouldn't they, for quite a little while?
Yes.
Until the
please
roots
do.
get out of that pot.
With anything that's newly planted, especially, well, we've been through a heat wave now. We're having rain midweek this week.
Let's hope.
It's going to be here, and then it's over the weekend. Yeah. So.
Okay, good.
Great.
Any other questions? No?
No.
Right, bye-bye.
That was brilliant. Well, it's been a great honour to have you here, and it's been lovely to have Kate giving her contribution from the chef's angle as well. And the liaising now that's happening between gardeners and cooks is exciting, isn't it? You're doing quite a bit of work, aren't you?
I'm doing a lot of work with chefs. Chefs really inspire me to try and work out how to grow plants that survive in the UK, especially with our changing weather. And also, I find that, you know, it's people like yourselves who actually show people, grow it in a fertile soil. Look what happens.
Yeah, I mean...
Look at the rewards. Look how generous they are. Yeah. It is very exciting.
Yeah, brilliant.